Welcome to the Valkyrie Biker, and today I am going to attempt my second MOD1 test. So the MOD1 test, as I have tried to previously do in the last video, is to go into a test centre. So I'm going to pull test centre today on my 125 Superlight, and I'm hopefully going to pass it this time. The MOD1 consists of manual handling, so you have to move your bike into a space from a space, and this is quite a heavy bike, so if you can do it on this bike, you should be able to do it on most other bikes. You physically have your vehicle turned off, but you have to move it from one parking space to another, let's say, without touching the cones, which should be quite good. When I did it last time, I found that this was very heavy, but I just did it slowly, and after catching my breath after 5 minutes because of my long COVID, I was alright to carry on. So the next part after that is the slalom. That goes straight into a figure of 8. Now I understand that you can actually stop if you ask the examiner after you've finished your slalom, because the slalom and the figure of 8 are two separate tests. But I found it personally easier to continue on to it and then use the figure of 8 as part of the slalom, as you do anyway, and then you do your two circuits of the figure of 8 with the blue cones. After that you stop and you get called over by your examiner, and he'll then get you to do a slow sort of 5 miles an hour, something like that, ride in front of him, to stop again at a point between some blue cones again, and that's just to make sure that you know how to slowly negotiate traffic when you're in a nose to tail traffic jam, and it also helps you with the coordination and balance. So these are all very functional skills for the motorcyclist. The next part of that goes directly into a U-turn, and you're asked to start the bike or continue with the bike and then do your U-turn using all the necessary checks. And when you get around to the other side of the line, or the other side of the pretend road, as it were, you do not touch that line, and you do not go beyond it, and you do not put your foot down. And after that, that's done. After that, it's the controlled stop, where you go up the circuit and come back down again through not chicane, but through these cones that make a very quite narrow corridor for you. You're stopping in a controlled manner again, and then after that you go the same route again, but at a faster speed, for your emergency brake, emergency stop. That's going to be at 50 kilometers an hour, which is about 32 miles an hour. And then after that is the hazard. So exactly the same circuit again at, I believe, 50 kilometers an hour, 32 miles an hour. Let's see how I do. Right, I'm here. Let's try again with the MOD1. Right, I've just come back from my MOD1 test here in Poole using my 125 Kiwi Superlight. And I have passed. I met up with the same examiners before her, which was really good. Really nice chap called Mark. Presented my paperwork, so you need your driver license, your CBT and your theory. Got out of the test centre, and I was so nervous. I passed! I can't believe I passed! Oh my gosh! I am so happy. Second time around, and I have passed my MOD1 on a 125. I just need to do the MOD2 on the 125 and I can get rid of my L plates. That was £15, well worth doing. Yeah, so I got on the bike and it was a bundle of nerves, but it made it really a lot happier, a lot easier for me that I had the same instructor. I got on the bike and I was shivering, but that was fine. So the first thing I had to do was move the bike from a parking position into another parking position. So I rolled it back, had a little bit of a rest after that because of my breathing issue, and then did the slalom. The first one I took a little bit on the wide side, so I had to bring it right in. And on this bike, it's quite difficult to do a slalom really tightly. But all I did was I feathered the clutch and I used my back brake, and I also kept my revs up a little bit. So when you practice your slalom, just feather the brake if you need to, but feather your clutch as well so it's on the biting point, and then use your accelerator just a little bit just to keep the revs up. Then I did the figure eight, and I went around. The first one I went around is the yellow cone, and I thought, no, I can get around the blue ones as well, because you can do you have to go between these two blue cones, but you can also use the first yellow cone to get around as well. So I did that. It's always good to know what you can do. And after that, he called me over, and it was the slow manoeuvre to a stop between 4 blue cones. And I thought I was going to lose I thought I was going to stall the engine because I had my revs too low. So again, you feather your clutch, feather the brake, just the back brake that is, just to keep it nice and slow, but you're steady and upright. As long as you're upright and you're going forward, the bike wants to keep on going forward, as long as you've got power to it, of course. And after that was my U-turn, and I did a U-turn when I got wrong just coming here, and I thought, well, I know I can do the U-turn. I did the U-turn previously, so I know I could do it, and I kept on saying, I can do it, I'm sure I can do it, yes I can do it. And I was talking to myself all the way through these manoeuvres, and he could probably hear me because I had my visor up. And you just treat everything as though you're on the road. Your rear tracks, your lifesavers, everything. If you treat it as though you're on the road, you can't really go wrong. My nemesis was the, what's it called? The emergency stop. So I went on here, I went on second gear, and I revved as high as I can in second gear, and then when I did the braking, I went through the corridor, didn't even see the yellow on the corridor, I just carried on straight ahead, and then as soon as he puts his hand up, I just let go of my throttle, didn't even bother with my throttle, and pulled in my front brake, and then used my back brake towards the end, and then feathered in my clutch again. And it worked, because if I don't use your clutch, if you let the clutch out, engine braking takes over automatically. So all you need to worry really about is then your front brake. And on this beastie, it's the back brake was really not that good. So you use your front brake more than your back brake. I got to 49 kilometres an hour, which is 1 kilometre too slow. However, that's the minor I had. And then I did it again, spot on 51 kilometres an hour for the avoidance. The first time I did it, I completely cocked it up because I wasn't sure where I was going. But you need to go through the same corridor again and then swerve. You need to keep this blue cone on your right hand side and swerve, and then come back into the right hand side again to then put your front tyre or any part of the bike in the blue box. And then he said, oh, could you go and park yourself down there, please? I thought, oh no, I failed. Because he didn't get me to do it a second time. And he said, well, I'm sorry to say you're not going to have to come back again. And I said, why? He said, because you passed. And I was shivering. I was shaking. Everything was shaking. I felt sick. I almost fainted. You build yourself up too much, you see. But it was well worth it. I'm so pleased. So yeah, I've got my certificate for Mod 1. Roll on Mod 2.